Hello, everyone. I'm Katie McManus, business strategist and leadership coach. Happy Monday. So I just got some really great news just before I start because I am so excited about this. I got my call. I'm getting my vaccine on Thursday morning. I'm over the moon. It's the Johnson & Johnson one. If you saw my post today, I'm trying to figure out if I should cancel, appointments or whatever, because I've been hearing people have been having, you know, reactions to their shots. But I'm so excited. It means I'm finally going to be able to get a haircut because this is getting way too long for me. Um, all about it. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about this thing that I talk about all the time, but it just, it just is always so top of mind when I talk to potential new clients. It's this truth that you cannot be a secret and a success at the same time. Let me repeat that. If you want to be successful, you cannot be a secret, which means you need to come out of the closet. You see this little weird closet that I have? Just imagine yourself coming out on the screen and announcing what it is that you're up to in the world. What is it that you're putting out into the world? Owning that you have thought leadership in you. And telling your friends and family and former colleagues and former classmates that, hello, I'm here and I'm open for business. This is one of the things that is so fear-inducing for so many people when they first start their business. I had this as well. When I first started off as a coach, my friend Orit Mazor, hi Orit, if you're watching, we were in our coach training class, and I was having just this saboteur, like voice of doubt moment, and thinking, oh my God, like I want to be a coach, I want clients, but how do I even do this? And she gave me a very simple challenge. And this challenge was to email, I think it was 30 people. And I think I ended up emailing 60 because I was like, well, what the hell if I'm doing it anyway, I might as well just completely out myself, and tell them what I was up to and invite them to a one-on-one call if they were interested in seeing what coaching was about. Now, I don't recommend this style to out yourself as a coach and to start your coaching business. There are ways that are far more effective, and don't train people that your services are for free. But I will say that outing myself and not letting my coaching be a secret anymore was transformative in my business actually getting off the ground. From those emails, I got my very first paying client. Okay. Very first paying client. Granted, I was not set up for a paying client. If you know anything about my history, when I started my coaching business, I thought I was going to be a dating coach for men. That was my niche that I had decided. It was just, I don't know, I lived in the Bay Area, dating was hard, and I figured I'm going to go out and help and fix these guys. I was like the Robin Hood trying to right wrongs everywhere in the dating world. Obviously didn't work. I ended up getting mostly women clients. So this is one of the things that when people are starting their business, they get really freaked out about, well, what do I say? Do I tell them what my title is? Am I an executive coach? Am I a consultant? What am I doing? Some of my clients, they're lawyers, so it's a little easier for them. But for them, you still have to name, what niche do you focus on? What part of law do you focus on? For coaches, we could help so many people, especially those of us who have classical training like Coactive or IPEC. We could help so many people. And so we have this fear around limiting ourselves. But then how do you explain what you do? I'm gonna sit there on the phone with you, and I'm gonna ask you a bunch of questions to help you go to where you need to go, wherever that is. Ugh, that's not good marketing. That's not good spokesmanship for what you're up to. So you have to out yourself. You have to tell people what you're up to. And you also have to know who you're speaking to. Who are you trying to get to lean in and say, oh, that's interesting. Tell me more. Tell me about that. You have to know who your ideal client is. You have to also know what are the problems that they wake up in the morning thinking about. And what are the problems that keep them awake at night, keep them from actually getting some shut-eye. So there are right and wrong things to getting out there and not being a secret, but really you just have to get out there. And Leah Turner, who is my LinkedIn guru. I go to her for all things LinkedIn. If you haven't booked a session with her, I'm sorry. Her prices have gone up. I've been cheering her on as she's been raising her prices. It is totally worth it. You need to go talk to her if you're on LinkedIn at all. But she has this beautiful way of explaining to people that it's not the most profound things that you have to say that get people to notice you and see you for who you are, and to even remember what it is that you do for work in the world. She trains in this very light way of just sharing something about yourself. And if you want to, very lightly refer to the fact that you work from home, or very lightly refer to the fact that you work with clients. You don't have to overthink these big announcements around who it is that you are and what it is that you're doing. It could be as simple as, oh, I had this really lovely day today. I was able to take the dog to the beach at 2:00, and run them for about an hour. I got to see like this beautiful, beautiful day, and I got a little sunburn on my nose. I'm making this up, by the way. And by the way, I love that I own my own business, coaching people, because that means that I have this freedom in my day. There, you've just told everyone a million things about you, so they feel like they know you. Told them that you have a dog, that you like the beach, that you play with your dog, so you're fun, that you have a coaching business. Like there's not a wrong way to share what you're up to. This book. So I love this book and I hate this book. Okay. So Steve Chandler, Rich Litvin, if you're watching, I love this book. I love a lot of the message that you have, but I have a major problem with one of the stories in it. Okay. So this is The Prosperous Coach. There is a story in here, and I'm probably going to butcher it. It's been a long time since I've read it. There's a story in here about this guy who is ex-Marine, and he doesn't have a website. He doesn't have anything that he announces what he does, but he has a secret like business card that gets passed around amongst the high echelon kinds of people who want really extreme experiences like climbing Mount Everest or skydiving or whatever. And he creates like this whole program for them. I think he only accepts like 4 clients a year, and he charges $50,000 per client. Doesn't that sound nice? Doesn't that sound nice that you can just have your business card get passed secretly from person to person and you get $50,000 clients all the time? Sounds lovely, but it's not realistic for most of us. For 99.99999% of people, no, that doesn't work. In my blurb teasing this video, I talk about that movie, The Game. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I think it was in the 90s. I remember seeing it when I was way too young to really understand it. I'm a 90s kid. But anyway, Michael Douglas gets this gift experience from his brother, and it's this whole thing that's supposed to like change his life and give him greater appreciation for life. And it's the secret society or something, and their name gets passed around the uber wealthy, and they're able to buy these experiences for their loved ones. Again, it's this myth of being able to run a super high-end business that is so secretive that there's like no website. There's no way to find out more about them. And I swear to God, I think a lot of new business owners, and not a lot of new up and coming business owners who have an amazing service, who like can change lives, have real impact in their clients' lives. I think they think that this is an actual business plan, that this can actually be a thing. Like that is Hollywood, and this is a book that is enrolling you into a program, a multi-$1,000 program. Those are not business strategies. They are not business plans. They are not ways for you to get out in the world and have real impact and actually get clients. They are, one's fictional and one, I assume it's true if they're putting in their book, because otherwise I don't know if that opens them up to lawsuits. But if you think about it, this man was a Marine, so he already has an exceptional background, and probably has a network that's insane. And let me tell you, the gold that is a proper network. Okay, I've had clients in the past who had no network and of course were able to build their business. But it takes a little while longer because, they don't know a lot of people where they live or whatever. And so they have to get out and they have to become known. And then I've had clients who have insane networks, they already hang out with C-level executives, with board members, with people involved in government, and they're able to get, $10, $12, $18,000 contracts like that, because that is the world that they're already hanging out in. And all of those people that have those amazing networks, they still have to be known. They still have to out themselves. They still have to tell people what they're up to. Okay. So if you're thinking that there's just going to be this word of mouth chain and it's somehow going to get back to someone who is your ideal client, that you are the coach for them, you got to stop that. It's not going to work. You're going to be very disappointed. And also, you have to tell people for them to be able to do that word of mouth thing. You have to tell people that you're open for business. And generally that starts with your friends and your family, the people who it feels the most vulnerable to tell, hey, I'm starting my own business. And by the way, I'm starting my own business doing something, coaching usually, that you may not have even heard of before beyond sports coaching. And actually, I'm just talking to people for an hour. That's my new business. The beautiful thing about our loved ones, our friends and family, is that they care about us so much. They care about us so much. They don't want anything bad to happen to us. They don't want us to fail. They don't want us to be embarrassed or laughed at. They don't want us to be broke and lose our homes and starve to death in the woods. The downside of all that is that when they hear that we're doing something scary and risky, is that they can pipe up and their voices of doubt, their saboteurs get triggered for us. And they'll start putting this down. So I know it happens. We see it coming. It's not a surprise when we tell them that we're doing something crazy, like quitting our job and starting a company. That, they'll pipe in with that. We know that. Oh, hi, Gabriel. Welcome. Good evening. So we anticipate that. And it's one of the things that keeps us quiet, because, I think we can all imagine the backlash that would happen if you announce something on social media without telling your closest people that you're doing it first. But let me tell you, if you want a successful business, there is no way around it. You have to tell people that you're starting a successful business. You have to tell them that you're open. You have to tell them exactly who it is that you are looking to work with. Because how are they supposed to introduce you to these people? How are they supposed to say, oh, that's me, I really want to work with you, unless they know that you're looking for them? There's this mentality, especially in the coaching community. And I think you all know this. I want to just show you behind the curtain. I do most of my marketing. I do most of my social media awareness towards coaches because they are my ideal client. Okay. But I can't tell you how many times I've gotten messages from consultants, from drop shippers, from lawyers, from artists saying, hey, what about me? You describe all these problems that coaches have, but it's very similar to what I go through. Could I talk to you maybe? And they end up being my client. Oh, hi, Ron. Welcome. Good evening. They end up being my client because, yes, I'm speaking to coaches. I'm choosing a niche and I'm talking to it constantly. But I'm describing things that everyone who's starting a business are going through. And it doesn't rule them out. It actually makes them lean in and want to ask me if they can work with me as well. So if you're thinking about picking a niche and you're holding back for that, just know that your niche is actually not going to rule anyone out. It's just going to help people rule themselves in a little more cleanly. I've lost my train of thought. I was going somewhere else with that. Oh, I hate it when that happens. This is the problem with doing lives at the end of the day. I get on a really smart track and then I want to make a side point. And then I lose the original track and I've made this side point that I'm not really sure what to do with. And it's live, so it's not like I can pause this video. So you guys just get to dance with me. Oh, Ron, I'm glad you're enjoying this. You tuned in for just the right moment where I lost my train of thought. Oh, the other thing. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Okay, I found it again. All right, all that laughing helped me get back on track. Okay, so here's the thing is that like when you're talking about what you're doing, no one knows what an executive coach is or a leadership coach or whatever. No one cares about those titles. Okay, they've heard them like bandied about, whatever. No one has any idea how it is useful to them. And let me tell you something about the human race. Every single one of us, every single one of us is scanning the world constantly for, are you useful to me? Are you useful to me? Are you useful to me? Is this useful to me? Is this useful to me? If it's not useful to us, guess what? Our brains don't have the capacity to remember a bunch of junk, so it just throws it out. Okay, so if I'm talking to you and you're telling me something that I don't really understand, like your corporate tax financial, blah, 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 guess what? Am I going to remember what you do for work? Absolutely not, because I have no context to attach it to useful to me. No. Now, remember, you don't have to be useful to everyone that you speak to. If you're speaking about your ideal client and you're describing the problems and the desires that they have, and you're using it in the terms that they use when they're a little drunk, like they've had a glass of wine, they're bitching to their best friend, and then you end up talking to their best friend, guess what? Their best friend is going to understand that she needs to connect you to. Because we're scanning the world for, are you useful to me? And are you useful to me? But if you're not useful to me, you could still be like an ancillary useful to me if I can connect you with someone in my community. Because guess what? If I can connect resources and people together, that ups my social capital. Okay, so you need to out yourself. You can't be a secret and a success at the same time. I'm going to keep saying that, and I'm going to keep saying it until I'm dead. There is a reason why I go live, at the end of the day when I'm a little tapped, because guess what? You guys need to know. I need to tell you what I'm up to. I need to tell you a little bit about my work. I need you to give you an experience of me. If I'm annoying to you, I want you to know it, because I don't want to waste my time on the phone with you if you're going to think that I'm annoying on the phone. Also, if you like what I say, if I'm going to like give myself that leeway, I want you to be able to know that from go. And you need to do this too. And I want you, if you've been watching from the very beginning, know that I've screwed up multiple times. I forgot my train of thought. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm wearing a sweatshirt, for heaven's sake. My hair, the only reason it's combed is because I found a comb in my desk. Today's been a rough day. Basically, you don't have to be perfect is my point here. You don't have to be perfect. You do have to let people know what you're up to. Okay? You do have to let them know that you're open for business. If you want to start a business and you want it to be successful and you want to have impact, on the world, meaning you want to make other people's lives better and more sustainable and more in line with their values. So when they get to the end of their life and they're on their deathbed in hospice, they don't have any regrets. If you want to have an impact like that, if you don't want to get to the end of your life without any regrets, I know it takes bravery. I know it's scary as all hell, but you have to out yourself for whatever it is that you want to do, for whatever business you want to create, for whatever impact you want to have. You have to out yourself. You have to tell people. I always mispronounce her last name. Greta Thunberg, the Swedish teenager. Okay, she is a thought leader for climate change. I mean, she's a kid. She doesn't have any advanced degrees. I'm sure she knows a lot about it because it's one of her primary interests in life. It matters to her so deeply. And yet she just sat out of school on Friday and started talking about climate change. Literally. She became a thought leader by pointing to an issue and saying, hey guys, this matters. I need you to pay attention. Over here. This matters. Pay attention over here. Climate change. Yes, over here. I just want you to imagine what she could do with her career. I don't think she's even gone to college yet. I think she's still in secondary school. If she can do that and opened that many doors for her. She's spoken at the UN. Okay, I don't think there's a world leader she hasn't met who is at the forefront of solving climate change. If she can do that as a kid, imagine what you could do if you just opened your mouth and started talking about something. Okay, I'm a firm believer. This is one of my core beliefs, is that everyone deserves to make a living from doing work that they love. Okay, so I talk about it a lot. I talk about it because I want people to know that. I want for someone to hear me say that and think, yeah, I deserve to do work that I love and make a living from it. Screw this. And then they quit their job and go and do something that they really love. That is the impact I want to have. But guess what? I'm never going to have that impact unless I start saying that, unless I say it a lot, unless I shout it from the rooftops, unless I go live, unless I get on stages and I say that. Oh my God. So whatever impact you want to have, whatever business you want to create, and they go hand in hand. I know we think that if you're going to create impact, if you're going to help people, you also have to be poor. I know it's a fun little money story we like to tell ourselves. Not true. Not true. You can have huge impact and you can change lives for the better, and you can have huge income side by side. They work together. Gosh, what else do I want to tell you tonight? Now, I love going live. I don't know what it is. I just get excited. I think because I've been locked away for so long. I'm like, I'm talking to people even though I can't see you guys. You're just somewhere out there in the universe. And I don't know, maybe some aliens are tuning in. Who knows? Maybe I'm inspiring, whole swaths of entrepreneurship in some spaceship somewhere. I don't know. That would be really funny to imagine. Like Galaxy Quest, but for, Etsy businesses. I don't know. I think that's all I want to say tonight. You can't be a secret and a success. I'm going to say it again and again. Secret, success do not go together. Okay. You have to out yourself. Okay. I don't care how weird you think your idea is. I don't care how scary it is. You have a brain and you have discretion. If it's going to get you fired from your job and you really need your income, I trust that. But there are always people in your world you can tell. There are always friends and confidants that you can reach out to and say, hey, listen, I can't come out with this publicly yet, but I need to tell you, this is my dream and this is what I really want to do. And I'm starting to take action on it. If there's something like that you have in your heart, please go and do it. Please, because you're not doing anyone any favors by not doing it, by not talking about it. Anyway, that's all. Thank you, Ron, and thank you, Gabriel, for commenting. I'm on StreamYard. Only LinkedIn comments came through. Sometimes they don't show me comments from the Facebooks or from YouTube. And also, it's Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, so this might be a weird time for people. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. And if you're watching the replay, I'd love to hear your comments and what your thoughts are on this topic. Ron Joseph, in other words, don't be a weenie. Absolutely. I can't believe I forgot to say my tagline. Don't be a weenie. The other thing I want to remind you of, and thank you, Ron, for pointing to that, is that I talk about bravery a lot. And, we kind of have this notion that bravery is like this really cool thing. And you walk into the arena and you're super confident, your shoulders are back and your chest is puffed out and you're ready to take on whatever, battle you have to do. No, that's not bravery at all. Bravery feels like fucking shit when you're in it. And I know I'm going to get censored in the captions for that one. It feels awful. A truly brave moment. You are sweating out of every gland you have. You're looking around, you're double thinking it. Oh my God, you're thinking about what the perfect version of you might do. You're thinking about what your friends and family might say if they were there right then. You're already prepared to be humiliated, embarrassed, and to feel bad. You're second guessing yourself. It doesn't feel good. And I think we wait for bravery to feel good before we do the brave thing. And I have to tell you, it's killing us. If we wait to feel brave, to feel puffed up and confident to go and do stuff, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen, okay? Because bravery doesn't feel good. But 5 minutes, even 5 seconds of bravery, 5 seconds or 5 minutes, whatever, you need in that moment. It feels like garbage, but it's the only thing that moves you closer to your dreams. Okay. 5 seconds to tell someone who you have feelings for that you have feelings for them. How are they going to know otherwise? And maybe they don't have feelings for you back, but you'll never know. You'll just be suffering unless you tell them. Asking for a promotion at work, that is vulnerable. But you're never going to know if you're going to get it unless you put yourself forward for it. Starting a business, oh my God, and going live and doing all the things and being on social media and daring to have professional pictures taken of you where you're like posing against walls and pointing to weird things and whatever. I've been there, I've done it all. Like, yeah, it takes some bravery. And there's like silliness, you don't feel like it's you. You don't feel confident to be doing it when you're doing it. The good news is that if you're doubting yourself in those ways, guess what? You're not a sociopath or a psychopath because they don't feel those things. But the the bad news is that, like, honestly, it's probably going to take you doing it half a dozen times for you to feel confident about it. So you just have to stop waiting to feel confident and just go do it. Anyway, on that note, I'm signing out. I'm finishing my day today, and stay tuned. I do plan on going live every day this week. Last week I went off the rails. These are not goals, they are intentions. So I would love if you have any things that you want to hear me talk about this week, or any discussions, or if you want to come on with me, mention in the comments or send me a direct message. I'd love to host you, and to talk about anything that you guys are interested in. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm Katie McManus, business strategist and leadership coach. Thank you for joining me this evening, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.